which obviously doesn't sound good if you want Conte to stay. Hello there guys and welcome back to 100% Chelsea from a preview of the Chelsea vs Leicester City game taking place tomorrow afternoon, with the kickoff being at 3 PM UK time. And as there's a lot of stuff to go through today, I'm getting straight into it. But before getting into the preview, I have to speak about something else that happened last night at the NBA basketball game in London, which Eden Hazard and also lots of other Chelsea and other clubs players were attending. Hazard gave a quick interview for the Mirror, and when asked if he will sign a new Chelsea contract, he said, and I quote, "Yes, I think Thibaut first, then I will sign." And also there was a video of him taking a picture with a fan, and that fan after that telling him not to leave Chelsea, and Hazard replied with a very confident never. None of that obviously is a guarantee for anything. Of course not. Of course that doesn't mean, okay, Hazard is 100% staying and is basically signing his new contract next week. But it's certainly better than if he replied with, "I don't know," or let alone, "No, I won't sign," you know, that kind of thing. Obviously, it's better saying, yes, he will sign after Courtois will sign, or basically, no, I'm never leaving Chelsea, or no, you know, no way I'm leaving Chelsea kind of thing. Obviously, that's better. So hopefully that happens sooner rather than later, that both him and Courtois will sign the new deals, and we can all move on together. But now getting into the preview and speaking about our opposition Leicester, and they currently sit in 8th on 30 points with 8 wins, 6 draws and 8 defeats, scoring 34 goals but conceding quite a lot with 32 goals. The last few games haven't gone particularly well, you have to say. November to December they were doing really well and just getting win after win after win really. But they've only managed to win one game since December 13th. On the weekend they were held to a 0-0 draw at Fleetwood Town in the FA Cup, but they did do a lot of rotating for that game. On New Year's Day, the game before the Fleetwood Town game, they beat Huddersfield 3-1. And that was their only win, like I said, since December 13th, because before then they lost 2-1 to both Liverpool and Watford and got a 2-2 draw against Manchester United, which sounds better than their performance was, because Manchester United just missed loads and loads and loads of massive chances. Recently, they have tended to go for a 4-2-3-1 formation, but with Okazaki playing in the number 10 sometimes, and then it could almost be seen as the 4-4-2 that they basically won the league with, although sometimes it's Demarai Gray that plays in that number 10, then maybe it is actually more of a 4-2-3-1, so it's something along those lines, 4-2-3-1, 4-4-2, something along that. Definitely no 3 at the back, although under Claude Puel, I don't think they have faced a team that usually plays 3 at the back. So maybe they will change, you know, tomorrow as well, like a lot of teams do when they face us. We'll have to wait and see. Jamie Vardy returns from a minor injury, but both captain Wes Morgan and right back Danny Simpson will miss the game with hamstring injuries. The danger men are obviously the return of Jamie Vardy and Riyad Mahrez, but you can never underestimate players like Okazaki, Demarai Gray and also Slimani if he plays. The main threat, obviously, as has been for a while now, is obviously their pace on the break, and we will definitely have to look out for that, because unlike Morata, Vardy usually finishes his chances. Now getting to Antonio Conte's press conference, and there were a lot of interesting things being said today. First of all, we have some news on Ross Barkley. Conte said we must be happy with his physical condition and he's working very hard, and maybe in the next game against Norwich in midweek he could be available for selection. Conte hopes he will be. I mean, I don't think he will start against Norwich, but if he could come on for, say, 10-20 minutes or so, that'd be great. And then some interesting stuff about Conte and Alexis Sanchez that I didn't know about came out. Conte was speaking to Sanchez in the tunnel when we faced Arsenal Wednesday. Conte said he just said hello basically, but he also said that Sanchez knows Conte is an admirer of his and that he wanted to sign him in his first season with Juventus when Sanchez was still at Udinese in the Serie A. Clearly hinting that he would like to sign Alexis Sanchez and seemingly trying to make strides toward that, if you will, making that happen by speaking to him obviously at the game. But we know our club, don't we? He wouldn't be expensive at all. Also, staying in London would be something that could sway him towards Chelsea, but only Man City and now Manchester United apparently seem to have made bids for him. But he also said, realistically, if Manchester City want Sanchez, they will buy Sanchez because they don't have to worry about money. At the end of the day, that's probably true, even though it's not just about the transfer fee at the moment, but it's about how much the agent will get paid, how big his wages will be, that kind of thing. And Man City, although Man United can certainly compete, Man City can blow anyone out of the water in the league at the moment, and we have to be honest about that. But like I said, you know, it doesn't harm to put a bid in. Just try. Maybe staying in London is something that can sway him from earning more at Manchester City, or even being basically guaranteed to win the league this season and possibly even more things. Maybe that will sway him. At least try. If it doesn't work, fair enough. But you have to try to sign a player like Alexis Sanchez when he's available for like 15, 20, 25 million. You know, you have to try. Schalke from the Bundesliga, their sporting director, has confirmed that they are speaking to Chelsea about bringing Baba Rahman back to Schalke on another loan. Conte said the player is still recovering from his injury. He tried to train with the team twice apparently, but he wasn't ready yet and isn't ready to play. Otherwise, he would be staying with us and in the squad. So that definitely sounds like he could be joining Schalke. We'll have to wait and see. Then Conte said facing Leicester for us is facing one of the worst teams we could face at the moment. They're in very good form and it will be very, very difficult to win the game tomorrow. Conte was then asked what we, the media and the public, should make of the rumours coming out that either Max Allegri from Juventus or Luis Enrique will replace him in the summer. Conte responded by saying, and I quote, "Everything is possible in football. I have a contract for 1 more year here, but in one moment you can be here, and in another moment you can be in another place." Which obviously doesn't sound good if you want Conte to stay. But then he said things that would hint he was more getting annoyed with the media trying to get him sacked with the constant rumours about his future. He said it's the history of this club. The managers face this type of situations. He said it happens at no other club, that after losing the first game after winning the league, reaching a cup final, that the media starts speaking about the manager being sacked, which obviously happened when, we lost to Burnley in our first game of the season. But later, he said, because of the history with coaches at Chelsea, the media talk about the manager being sacked sooner. As much as he's stating fact here, obviously, because, no one can deny that we have sacked a lot of managers, he's definitely having a dig at the club here as well, basically blaming some of the rumours that are always going around about whoever is Chelsea manager, obviously in this case Antonio Conte, is because Chelsea keeps sacking the manager. And if you think about it, kind of makes sense. Chelsea usually just sack their manager at some point. So obviously the media are onto that because they're saying, well, if it happens and we start talking about it before, we seem like we knew. One thing I have to say though, we always have to remember with everything Conte says that for us hints at something, you can never forget that his English, although constantly improving, certainly isn't perfect. It's everything but perfect. So sometimes things can sound a bit different when he says them to what he actually means. So as much as what he said, at the first bit, what I just talked about, him, he can be everywhere, you never know what can happen. That obviously for us hints at, right, he's basically not going to be here next season. But maybe that's not exactly what you meant. Maybe he's just having a dig at the media, right? You're always talking about me getting sacked. Let me just give you some fire because you're pissing me off. At the same time, is he actually having a dig at the club or not? It very much sounds like it. The history of Chelsea, we're second manager, and that's why I'm getting under fire from the media. Maybe he doesn't even mean it like that. You always have to take into consideration. He could mean it that way, but you can't be sure because, his English isn't perfect. And basically underlining that is what he was asked after, because he was asked if he is happy at Chelsea, and he said he is. He is happy at Chelsea, happy in England, enjoying his time here, and even though it hasn't been easy, as it is his first job outside of Italy, he is happy here. So all this I don't know where I'm gonna be kind of thing, or everything can happen. What does that mean then? So are you happy now or not? Or is it just like the club might sack you? What's going on? We don't know. That's what I mean. You can't take everything that he says and that might hint at something just as that is, because like I said, don't forget about the English language barrier. Then he was asked if he would like to stay longer than next season. I don't think he understood that question properly, because he answered, well, I have a contract for next season, and in this case the club has to decide to send me away. Basically saying he isn't going to walk away, but if he is to leave, it will be the club's decision. But obviously the question was, does he want to stay longer than his contract, so longer than the season after. Conte thinks that we have started a big work, as he said it, so like a big project if you will, together with the players and the club. And for sure, when you start a project, you need time to improve your work and create a solid basis to work with. But he said in nowadays football, and especially in England, it's not that easy to get that time to actually start a big project and finish a big project as well. But that's really it from a very interesting press conference, I thought. Leave me your thoughts on all of that down in the comment section below. But now coming to Chelsea and their lineup. And well, as I struggle to see why Conte is so worried apparently about Leicester, if I'm completely honest, because like I told you before, their form hasn't been great recently, so I don't know why he's saying, they're the worst team we can play right now and they're in such good form. I don't really know where that's coming from. But the fact that Conte is worried kind of makes me think that we might rotate a little bit. I still think we will field the weaker side against Norwich in midweek, but maybe we will rotate a little bit. I don't know. To be completely honest, I have no idea what Antonio Conte will go for tomorrow, because with their form, and if we field our strongest team, we should beat them. Of course, we should have beaten the team that Arsenal fielded in midweek, but we should beat them. So I don't understand why he's that worried. Because I've never really heard him say it will be very, very difficult and they're the worst team we could play right now. I've never heard him speak about an opponent like that. Even when we faced Man City or Arsenal or Man United or Liverpool. Even then he hasn't spoken like that. So I'm a bit confused. So instead of trying to predict his lineup for tomorrow, because I think that's almost impossible, it is just the best team, which I'm gonna, go for basically right now anyway. Or it's just some random team that is unpredictable in my opinion. So today I'll just tell you the team I would go for. So I would like to see a forward-the-back formation again. But with so many games, there is just no time to work on a different system. So that's not happening anytime soon. We have to accept that, and everyone has to accept that. So I would go 3-4-3, not 3-5-2 tomorrow. Thibaut Courtois in goal, Cesar Azpilicueta, Andreas Christensen, and Antonio Rudiger as the three centre-backs. Not dropping Gary Cahill, but Rudiger is fast. Very fast. And against Jamie Vardy, that could be of great help, I thought. So that's why I'm going for Rudiger rather than Gary Cahill. Even though I think Cahill is having a good season, especially last few months, been very good. And Zappacosta's the right wing back, just, to rotate. Even though Moses, a lot of people think Moses was awful against Arsenal. I thought he was one of the bright sparks. He was, the one actually having shots at the keeper and, dangerous shots as well, hit the post. forced a save by Ospina. Almost put it into the far corner if Mustafi didn't get blocking. So I don't know what issue really people have with Moses. Of course, he could have done better, but he did more attacking-wise than anyone else on the pitch. But yeah, Zappacosta on the right, Alonso on the left, Conte and Drinkwater as the two central midfielders is what I would go with, but it will be Bakayoko. Bakayoko will start because he didn't play, or he didn't start against Arsenal. I'm almost sure Bakayoko will start. Then I would go Eden Hazard and Willian as the two wingers, or two, wide central attacking midfielders, if you will. You could also play Pedro instead of Willian, but I'd rather go Willian, to be honest. And then I would go Morata up front again. But Batshuayi will probably play against Norwich in midweek. And I think Morata just has to play. Keep him playing right now. He will score eventually, and then his confidence will go up, and then things will get better again. But he just needs to play. He just, without playing, he can't score. And without scoring, he won't get his confidence back. And without getting his confidence back, he won't be the striker that he was in September, October time. I mean, I just told you that lineup, 3-4-3, what I want, the back three and whatnot. I'd actually like to see David Luiz and Christensen start together. Neither of Kane and Rudiger to start. Because I think, it just must be possible somehow to play both of them. It just must be possible. But, that won't happen. Also, I'd like for us to try the 3-4-1-2, which is basically a 3-5-2. But it's like with the centre attacking midfielder rather than just Hazard as a second striker. So with Morata and Batshuayi starting up front, with Hazard in behind them. But again, as much as I'm telling you what I'd like to see, we all know that Conte won't go for that. We all know that Conte won't suddenly play a new formation when we're playing 3 games in a row. He did that last year when we had, a week's break between every game, basically. Then he's just suddenly changed formation. But he's already been working on the playing 3 at the back since the summer. He just didn't start it because he didn't think the players were ready to use it yet. But then after we lost 3-0 to Arsenal, obviously he changed it. Now there is no time to just change the formation. Even though the 3-4-1-2 obviously wouldn't be the biggest change, but I just can't see him changing that right now. And I want to stay kind of realistic with what I, try to go from what I say I want to see happen tomorrow. So yeah, that's the lineup that I would go for. And now talking about how I think the game will go and what I think we have to do. Obviously, beware of Leicester's pace. Play direct and quick football going forward. Push the wing-backs forward as well because they are way too deep. We're not playing 3-5-2. We're not playing 3-4-3. What we're playing is 5-2-3 or 5-3-2 or 5-3-1-1. Those need to go higher up the pitch. Eunice said that in this video and I completely agree with him. They are set way too deep. A lot of people, when they always speak about Chelsea, always like playing 5 at the back. And I'm always like, no, we're playing 3 at the back. Conte says we are playing 3 at the back. But if you actually watch us on the pitch, whether that's obviously in the stadium or even on TV, you can see they're always so deep and they push forward like any other normal fullback would as well. If you compare it to Ashley Cole, he was playing normal left back, not left wing back. He wasn't forward any less than Alonso is. So, they have to push forward more in my opinion. And obviously, finish our chances. We get chances, finish them. If we do that, I'm confident that we will win. Now getting to my score prediction, I'm going for a 2-1 home win for Chelsea. After not scoring for 2 games, predicting for us to score 3 or more goals seems a bit ridiculous. And Vardy just is very good in front of goal. So that's why I'm not going for a clean sheet, although it is certainly possible. But that's really it for me. Leave me all of your thoughts down in the comment section below on everything that I spoke about, the press conference, and also obviously about Leicester and the video itself. Leave me your predicted lineups and score predictions down in the comment section below as well. Leave a like if you did enjoy the video, would massively appreciate that. Also, don't forget to check out my social media, which is last1507 on both Instagram and Twitter. As you can see over here, that'd be class if you could follow me there. I would love to hit 1,000 followers on Twitter. That'd just be great. So if you haven't already, head over there and follow me. That'd be class. Also, don't forget to subscribe to 100% Chelsea. Just click the button up there and you can subscribe if you haven't already. We would like to hit 50,000 subscribers by the end of January. We know it will be tough, but if you could help us get there, that would be greatly appreciated. Thank you guys for watching. Up the Chelsea, and I'll see you next time.